Hi, my name is Angela Clark and I work with Threadwaggle Quilting, and today we are unboxing Elna machines. So this machine is an Elna Excellence 720. So we're going to look and see what's in the box. So it's going to start out with stuff sitting on top of the foam inside the box. So you've got your manual. You have a foot pedal. There's a parts container, a power cord, your single stitch plate, and I'm just making sure I get everything off before I start taking foam out of the box. Big piece of foam that protects the machine in the box. It is broken, okay. And then there is this is kind of a semi-hard cover that goes over the machine. It comes with the machine for you, so it's a dust cover, but it's kind of rigid and parts of it are soft too. So the big machines you don't really need a hard cover for, so it's easier for you to use. It folds flat, right, so that it's easier to store. And then now I'm gonna pick up this big machine that's in this box and set it on the table. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to actually turn it around so it's facing you instead of facing me. Slide out the neck protector. These things are definitely packed to travel, which is great. So all that does is protect the throat of your machine, because this does have a very long throat on it. Let's get it, I'm trying to get the styrofoam off of it, little things that bug me. Let's get this plugged in and see what it looks like. Okay, so it is plugged in, and I'm going to turn it on. There it goes. So it's all lit up. So it does have nice, excuse the foam back here. It does have nice light in the throat and also underneath the hopping foot, so you have good visibility when you are sewing. So we had a piece of foam come apart, so which is why I'm sitting here picking foam off of this real quick, because it's gonna drive me nuts. Okay, so this is the Elna Excellence 770. So some features on this machine that are pretty cool. You do have a free arm, so you can take this whole thing off and be able to do set-in sleeves. And then on the front of this, you also have a storage unit for your feet that you're using, and bobbins and your brush so that you can clean it. There is also a storage unit on the back, which is where your bobbin foot is. So this is not bobbin, this is where your button foot is. So this is how you would put a button on this with this foot. You'll learn how to do that in your class. So just know that there is a part sitting back in here when it ships. Okay, if you look over here on the right, there's a piece of plastic during shipping. That is to protect your needle threader, which comes up and down the little lever. So to be able to use your needle threader, you do need to pull this out to begin with. You don't necessarily need to put it back in for daily storage, but if you were going to ship it, I would put it back in. You can open up the side so you can get in case you have a thread issue on your top thread, so it's easily accessible, which I love. There's also a light up here on the top that can come out to give you more light, and it actually adjusts a little bit so you can spotlight what you need to right in front of your foot. The top cover comes up, right? And your bobbin winder is in here, and also where you put your thread and how you thread the machine. All of that is printed on the top of your machine, so you don't have to get your manual out to be able to thread the machine, which is lovely. And then you also have all the stitches. This has lots and lots of stitches on it. So lots of specialty stitches, alphabets, all that kind of great stuff come already preloaded on the machine. There's obviously an LED or a screen system over here where you would set any of the settings for your stitch length, you know, how wide you want your zigzag, what stitch you want, would all be set over here on the screen on your right. And then over here you have obviously a flywheel on the side of the machine. If I turn it a little bit, this is your flywheel. This is pressure down for your foot system, right? For your presser foot. And then on the bottom is how you drop your feed dogs when you want a free motion quilt. Okay, it does come with your zigzag plate already pre-installed on it, and I think there is a single hole plate in the box for you, so you don't have to buy that. That's really cool. Okay. And you also get a power cord with it, you get your foot with it. We talked about the cover already that comes with it, right? You get a 25-year warranty on your system. And in this case, it's English on the front, French on the back, so that if you do need to read it in French. And then you get a manual with your system. And the manuals are awesome for Elna and Janome products. They've got pictures of every part that comes with this machine, optional parts that you can buy for it, how to do basic functions with the machine. It is all in your manual, and it is very well documented. So there's even a troubleshooting section. So the things that I make sure that I always know where they are for my machines, obviously my parts, because if I need a different foot, I need to use it, right? But I keep all my manuals in a place where I know they're going to be for my domestic machines, because they all work a little bit differently, right? And I can't just automatically thread, say, one of my Janome machines and then turn around and try to thread my Singer, right? So I have both of those manuals so that I know how to do it, okay? Let's look and see what comes in your little parts bag. So there are quite a few parts in here. I'm gonna just pour them out back here so that I can show you what they are. The A foot is gonna come on the machine. That is just your standard presser foot, and it comes on all of the machines standard. And then you also have little spool holders that you can use. This actually can hook on up here so that you can have a spool of thread more readily accessible to you. It's for when you have bigger spools that won't fit on the one that kind of pops up and down inside. Okay. There's a stylus for you to use with the screen, and it's a hard plastic stylus. It's different than most styluses. There's a brush for you to clean the bobbin area, to clean the machine with. This is for when you're doing bobbins. It lets you keep the back of your hopping foot even, and it's not bobbins, this is for when you're using buttons. It lets you keep the back of your hopping foot up while you have the button on the front of it. So it keeps your hopping foot straight when you are using buttons. This is a G foot, and it has the little black guide in the center. So this is when you are ditching. It'll keep you right in your ditch, right? This is a D foot. The D foot is for when you are doing cording. You have your F foot, which is your clear acrylic foot for when you're doing decorative stitches. It's got a channel in the back here that the decorative stitches ride in so that they don't get caught on the bottom of your foot. You have an M foot, which is the one that has the little wires that stretches the thread over it so that when you have thread that's puffy in a decorative stitch, that is the one you would use. Your E foot is your zipper foot. And then you have, this is a PDH foot. So it's a free motion foot with an acrylic base on it. You've got a whole bunch of things that go on the top of your spools so that you can keep your thread from getting caught on those little slits on your spools. You have them in multiple sizes. There's the bigger size. There's actually a bigger one on here too, so you get two of these. One of them is pre-installed on the machine. You get two little ones, and then you get a teeny weeny little one. So I use this one when I'm using Aurifil on the mini cone. And then the last foot I just found is a T foot, and I'm pretty sure this is your button foot, but I'm going to check that real quick. Yep, so this is for when you're showing buttons on. And then we had the ones in the back here, which I showed you is the automatic buttonhole foot. And then there's also something called a stabilizer plate in there. So there's two things that are already back in this back compartment for you. So there's 4 bobbins, some extra needles, a screwdriver so that you can put your needle bar in, and also the shank for your hopping foot. This single plate foot pops off. There's a button back here in the back. If I slide this back, I'm lying to you, it's going to be on the front. Sorry. So there's this switch right here on the front is going to pop the bobbin up. There should be. So it takes a little more pressure, and I'm in the back of the machine, so it feels funny doing it, but it's this right here. When I push on it, it pops the plate up so I can get down into my bobbin to clean it, but also so I can switch out the plates if I need to. And you just put it on so it's angled to your left, and then it snaps right back onto your machine. And the machine's gonna tell you, hey, you took it off, and hey, you put it back on. So this does have a 9mm foot on it, so it's got the wider foot, which means that when things are feeding through your machine, it's gonna stay very stable on you. So it's got a really wide foot on it, which is awesome. There's obviously a message up here on the screen telling me that I had just put the bobbin foot on, and it probably wants me to check my foot to make sure that I have the right foot on. I'm not gonna worry about that right now because it's facing you. You also have the world's best little, what are these things called?
Seam ripper.
Thank you, the world's best little seam ripper. And that is everything that was in that parts bag, okay? So we're gonna do another one. Obviously, this machine is going to be, we're gonna need to do a demo of this machine. It's got lots of different features, lots of different things you can do with it. And we're gonna need to actually spend some time with our manual and make sure that we know all the features so that when we're demoing it, we can show you everything that it does. I know that it has a 7mm foot system on it, so it's got the wider foot system on it, which is great. And it's gonna work a lot like I think it's a Janome 9400. But we are gonna find out all kinds of stuff about this. There's lots of accessories that you can get for this machine. This is a top of the line machine, and it's got lots of features, and we just wanna make sure that we represent it correctly for you. Okay, but that's what comes in the box when you open up the box, kind of fun. And if you have questions, please put them in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer questions and film more videos on the machines. And like and comment for more education. And once again, my name is Angela, and I'm with Threadwaggle Quilting.